What is up? What's going on, family? Welcome back to another video. I'm Johnny Lynham from JohnnyLynham.com, the military CEO. And for my veterans, we have a great video today. We're gonna talk about why real estate is the ultimate wealth building tool for military veterans. And we're gonna dive in talking about, of all things, the impact veterans, because I'm truly passionate about real estate. I've been able to build a $14 million portfolio while active duty military over 19 years. One of the things next month that I'm gonna start doing is documenting my countdown, 12 months until retirement. It's been one heck of a ride. It's been a blessed journey. And I'm going to share with you guys how I was able to leverage my VA loan, moving around in the military, still active duty, and built an enormous amount of wealth, more wealth than I ever could have thought about growing up as a kid. And to be in this position, you can do the same thing too. So make sure you tap in and let's go. And so we're going to dive in and kind of go through one of my blog articles that we wrote on Bigger Pockets. And I put out there, and I also put this on my website, johnnylineup.com. But why real estate is the ultimate wealth building tool for military veterans. Like, we're always serving, we're out front, we're mission focused, we're taking care of our people. And a lot of times we don't put an emphasis on our finances. And I'm a true believer, hey, the TSP is awesome, it's a great thing. But for me, and one of the reasons why I pivoted to real estate and built a business around real estate investing, because I don't have control with the stock market. And you see the wild swings, what happened in '08. Even if you just see what happened to back in 2022, where you had the huge massive dip, and the tech industry still hasn't really recovered from that. And so it showed me that I don't have control over these companies. And with real estate, I'm able to find great deals. I'm able to force appreciation by making improvements to the property, by building a team of contractors, doing those things, having property management in place, and I can build wealth over time. And so that's the thing that we're talking about today, is how you can do this as a veteran. The number one resource that you have is the VA loan. The VA loan is just simply a benefit that's given to veterans that served at least 6 months active duty time. And now you can go and purchase a property with busted credit. Like, I've had lenders say they can get a loan done even at a 580 credit score. You don't have to have perfect credit, because guess what? It's backed by the government. And so the risk is a lot lower for the lenders. And so this is by far your secret weapon. If you don't come from a silver spoon, you don't come from, well, you don't have a trust fund behind you, you can leverage your VA loan. If you're a veteran, if you serve, use this benefit and buy a piece of real estate that you can own and keep, that 100% financing, no money out of pocket. You can even get, at this point in the market, where, depending on your area that you're in, you can get sellers to pay your closing costs. How do I know? Because I've done it multiple times. When I used my VA loan back in 2006 for the first time, I actually got a check for a little bit over $300 given to me at closing, because my seller paid all my closing costs. And so it is definitely possible. And so that's the thing that I want you all to realize, is it takes one deal. It takes the goal and moving out and finding the right property and going through and understanding what is possible with building wealth, buying in the right area, buying at the right price, buying in the good school districts where you can rent it out to another airman or soldier or sailor that's coming behind you. Guess what? Their kids don't want to go to a great school. So having it in a great school is a great bonus, but it's not 100% necessary, because a lot of times there's a need across the board for affordable housing anywhere. And so if you can get quality housing, that you would do pretty good. And a lot of times people say, hey, I only invest in B class or A class properties in those areas, which is great. But for somebody starting up, you may not be able to afford that type of house. But you can get started in real estate, and you can buy in areas. I stay away from war zones, but guess what? People who get paid hourly, that live in, that do regular jobs that pay them hourly, not they're not white collar jobs where, software developers or things like that. It's okay if you're not living in the best neighborhood, where everybody has a 5,000 square foot house, or every house in there is $1 million. That's not the reality. My first property I bought at Warner Robins, Georgia, guess what? It was less than $70,000. I think it was 72,000 when they put in my VA funding fee. It was 72K was my loan amount. And that was my first property. It was a 2 bedroom, 1 bath. It was only 3 years old. It was right at 930, 40 square feet. It was a 2-1. Actually, it was a 2-2. two full bathrooms, and it was one side of a duplex. And that's the crazy part with it. It's like you don't have to have a whole lot of house to get started with real estate. And fast forward, we bought that house for that 72K was the loan amount. I think we sold it for 115. Was it last year? Last year, 115. So had over 13 years and built up value over time and sold it off. And that's the thing that you can do and use it as a tool to build wealth, especially when you look at what you're going to pay for rent and what we're charging as landlords, keeping up with the rent costs with inflation. That you're a lot of times you're better off owning in the long run and being able to get in 100% finance. You get the ultimate leverage because when you look at the return on investment, if you only pay your closing costs, if you only pay $5,000 and you live there, you're paying your mortgage. Then when you rent it out, you're making $300-400 a month. And guess what? You're making $300-400 a month, and you only pay $5,000 down for your closing costs. Guess what? You got all your money back in that first year, and now you're getting. Guess what? Everything is bonus after that. And so that's the thing you don't realize. It takes a little bit of money or no money at all to control this asset. And you, not the bank, participates in the upside for the next keep going however many years that you own because you're paying down the mortgage and all the appreciation it goes into your pocket. And so that's the thing that you got to realize that the VA loan is your secret weapon. Figure out how you can use it and how you can leverage it to build wealth. Now let's talk a little bit about the passive income side of things. Okay, you buy the property, you got to live in it, you PCS and move. Now, what do you want to do when you're looking at becoming a renter, a landlord? And so that's one of the things that you have to look at is like everything is dynamic and changing because you got to have a strategy. Because guess what? Your next assignment, you may not be able, if you go to San Diego, you may not be able to afford to buy a house there. But guess what? You bought one when you were in an area like Dayton, Ohio, Columbus, Georgia, Fayetteville, North Carolina, where else? Clarksville, Tennessee, El Paso, Texas. All these different areas where it was really affordable. Now, when you go to Camp Pendleton on the West Coast, or you're outside of Miami, down at Dora, South Com, or you could be going to another high price market, like this that's outside New Jersey in Newark up there. Now you need to look at it like, okay, I'm gonna use my VA loan here. Maybe when I go to this expensive market, I hold back. It doesn't matter because guess what? I bought here. And maybe my next duty assignment, I use my VA loan again. And so you have options to go through. But one of the things that I always tell you is make sure you have a grasp of your finances. Why do I say that? Because I've been in a situation where when we went to buy our third property with the VA loan back in 2013, one of the things that I ran into was my debt to income ratio was skewed. It was off. Just because we had my wife's car, and then I had bought my own car. I bought a 2006. This was 2010. Bought a 2006 Corvette, and my mortgage payment, my not mortgage payment, but my payment on it was only like $500. And bought the car for 32,000. It was crazy. It only had like 7,000 miles on it. It was 4 years old. A dentist had it in Georgia. Picked it up when I was coming from Intel school in San Angelo, Texas, and I was like, cool. And so we got to the point where Wells Fargo told us, like, hey, yep, the debt to income ratio is off. That we're not going to be able to get you qualified. I was like, I'm like, okay, well, cool. I'll sell it. So I traded the car in, got $28,000 from CarMax and Newport News, and I was like, dude, boom, it's done. Like, okay, that's wiped out. And it was a tough decision because I love the car. I'm actually about to buy another Corvette here, probably around Christmas. We're gonna get a new one, and I love the C8 and the rear engine, mid-engine C8 Corvette, and convertible has to be a convertible, and it's gonna be awesome. But I sold the Corvette because guess what? I was buying another HUD foreclosure with my VA loan, and it was that important that hey, I'm like, I'd rather buy a house than keep a car that's not gonna go up in value. And that was one of the things with it that we were able to go through and put the deal together based off me selling the car. And lo and behold, Wells Fargo still gave us the stiff arm and said, hey, yep, we can't make it happen with the loan. But the good thing about it was we were able to still move, and the rest is history. We bought that property 280,000, sold it for a little bit over 440,000 last year, and yeah, and building wealth. Guess what? It was 100% financing, no money down. We kept it. We bought that in 13, sold it in 23. 10 years and I made 150, 160,000 in profit after paying closing costs, realtor fees, and all that stuff. You can't beat that. Guess what? And I had no money in the deal. But that's the power of using real estate to build wealth that we're talking about today. And so when you're looking at it across the board, you just got to figure out, hey, what is my strategy? What is my plan? Because guess what? As veterans and military members, we're all about our having our operational goals, having our operational strategy, our strategic strategy, our tactical strategy. But do you have a strategy for your own life? And that's the thing that so many people that I find and run across, they don't have a strategy for their finances. And that was one of the things for being a coach and coaching real estate investors, teaching people, being a mentor, and teaching people how to buy real estate. One of the things that I really realized and really honed in on with the conversations, like people don't have a financial plan. Like they just working a W-2 job. They don't know if they're making out with the right contributions to their 401k, with the company match. They don't know if they're underinsured. They don't know, what they're looking at for is their tax exposures, what's their tax strategy, how they can save on taxes. They don't have a trust that they have title to their properties in where they can limit their liability. So from a holistic perspective, many Americans don't have the plan together on how they can live their life and how to minimize their risk and set themselves up for long-term success. And so that's one of the things that we do, that we don't teach just our clients only real estate. No, we go in and I actually build out a personal financial plan. I got my certification in financial planning from Northwestern University, but we go through and we give you a holistic financial plan. And now you're able to integrate real estate, the passive income, the cash flow to build wealth, but you have a holistic plan when you got your trust, you have everything in place from insurance. If something happened to you, your family's going to be good and you're set up for success. But it all starts with having that strategy that you can point to and you can measure performance, because guess what? You can't modify and change what you're not measuring. And so that's the impact that we want to have. And having that financial independence is all about freedom. It is all about freedom. Like being financially free is not about, not working, retiring. No, it's about choosing to do whatever you want to do with your time and doing it. Whether it's spending time with your kids, it's traveling, making memories, if it's volunteering at a nonprofit, at your church, whatever it is, now you have the opportunity to give back and impact other people. Because guess what? You're not having to trade your time for money. You're not having to be stressed out trying to make your sale quota for the quarter or any of those things, that now you're able to live on purpose. And one of the cool things that I learned along the way in my journey is multifamily and how to buy properties with multifamily. I never personally bought a multi-unit using my VA loan, but guess what? I got a client that just bought a 4 unit in Chattanooga, Tennessee, over $1 million. It was less than 1 year old, and guess what? He was able to get this 100% finance and VA loan. Only thing he had to pay was his own closing costs. 4 units, 3 bedroom, 2 baths. Each one had a 1 car garage. And guess what? He had, the lot was big enough for to build 6 more units on it. No money out of pocket, just 10K for closing costs. No down payment. This is how you build wealth. And each one of his units are renting for $2,200. Market rent in his area in Chattanooga, $2,200. He's living in 1 unit, primary residence, and now he has 3 units paying him $2,200 market rent, $6,600 of income coming in every month. And that's one of the things that I tell people all the time. Like, I got over 120 units. It doesn't take all that. Like, you can be wealthy with 4 units. If he never buys another deal, he just works and pays this property off over the next 10 years. He takes all that money. So $6,600 a month times 12 months. That's what? That's almost 80,000. We're gonna call it $80,000 a year income from those 3 units. Guess what? When he moves out, he gets another 2,200. So now 4 times 2,200 is what? 8,000, 8,800. So now 8,800, he's getting over $100,000 a year. 8,800 times 12, we're gonna call it 100K. Over $100,000 a year. If he, for 10 years, he takes that $100,000 coming from the property and just applies it towards the mortgage and interest, 10 years he can pay that property off easily, easily. And the thing is like, if he just does that, and we have a lender that only lends to veterans, that can give him a new construction loan to build those other 6 units. And guess what? He already owns the land. He can use the land as collateral to get the bridge loan to build the new property with no money out of pocket. So now build those 6 units. If he just focuses on this one deal, he's going to be able to have the opportunity to bring in over $10,000 from the 4 unit. And we'll say he gets the same rent for those 6 units. Another 2,200 times 6. That's over $12,000 between the two properties. He'll be bringing in over what, 10 plus 12, $22,000 a month in income. Like, you don't have to go out and be an elaborate, huge portfolio that you buy with 10 other people and you only own 1% of the 1,000 units you own. You own 1%, less than half of 1% of it, and you get like $500 a month income from it. Where do you do that at? Why? That's backwards. And so that's the thing that you need to look at. If you just go use a VA loan, buy a multi-unit, a duplex, triplex, quadplex with your VA loan, it will set you and your family up for life. And that's the thing that you got to realize, that the multifamily piece, I wish I had known that when I was growing up and early in the service in my career, that I could go and buy a 2, 3, or 4 unit with my VA loan. Nobody ever told me that. But guess what? You all know now. So you got to make a decision. Are you going to use your VA loan benefits? And if you're not a veteran, guess what? You have the FHA loan. You only have to put 3.5% down. Think about it. 3.5%. You buy $1 million quadplex, you only got to put $35,000 down. Think about it. You can control $1 million asset with only $35,000 as a down payment. And you can use that the monthly income from the other 3 buildings to help you qualify that income. Why why not? Why not? Why not do it? And so that's the thing that we got to look at. What's the best strategy for you? But if you don't have the information, you don't have the intelligence to go through, take that knowledge, figure out how to apply it to your life and to make strategic moves, then you're going to get left behind each and every time. And so that's what this video is about. You got to take that first step, figure out what that is for you. If you're trying to get more clarity, I would love to have a conversation with you and kind of go through that process, because all you need to do is go through, understand what it is that you need to do, and figure out how to apply it today in your life. And for my veterans out there, go to my website. It's a website. I got my VA loan guide that talks about how I leverage my strategy of buying multiple assets. I use my VA loan simultaneously 3 times. I bought 3 properties using my VA loan with all having those. When I bought my 4th one, my current residence, we sold one. And then the other one that we had that was kind of high ticket, we sold it. You saw that we made that 140K plus profit on that one. Before we sold that, the year before we bought our current residence, we had to refinance that into a conventional mortgage. And so we simultaneously closed with a jumbo VA loan on our current property, and we refinanced the old one into a conventional property simultaneously. Shout out to Freedom Mortgage. They got that deal done. And it was definitely a blessing, because guess what? We bought a bank foreclosure and instant equity. And I talk about in the loan guide that, we ended with COVID and everything that happened the last 4 years, increased well over $400,000 in value in just a short amount of time with little money down. The VA loan guide, if you're a veteran, it is the hack to get you to the next level. Go check it out on my website, johnnylynham.com. Make sure you download it, share it with other veterans. And then for those that, you can like, hey, I know I need a plan. I need a financial plan. I don't have a plan for my finances, for my life, for real estate investing. I know I can build wealth in real estate. I can buy property and put this together. We're doing 5th grade math, y'all. Like, this stuff isn't complicated. We're adding, subtracting, multiplying, divide. You can be an owner too. You can own real estate. You can own apartment complexes too. And the thing is, you just got to get the right information and start taking action. And so that's the thing. If you're ready to go and you're like, hey, I know I need to start taking action, jump on a consultation call with my team, myself or Coach Jessica. We would love to chat with you, understand your goals, what you're trying to build with your family, and see how we can help you build your financial plan and help you start building around everything that you're doing in real estate investing. And for those that's coming up, we got a couple of events. We're going to be in Dallas, Texas, October 5th for the Veterans of Real Estate Conference. I'm going to be sharing there with veterans and first responders, and just sharing my journey and helping you understand on the multifamily side and on the single family side how you can build wealth. We're going to be at the Military Influencers Conference in Atlanta, September 30th through October 3rd. I am extremely looking forward to that one. We're gonna have a booth, REI Genius. We're gonna have a vendor booth there at the conference. So definitely, if you're in Atlanta at the Military Influencer Conference, stop by. We'd love to have a conversation with you and just kind of see where everything that you're doing and see how we can be a benefit. And when you stop by the booth, make sure you sign up for the raffle. We're gonna be giving away one free financial plan and 6 months of mentorship in my multifamily mastermind away for free to one lucky veteran that's attending the Military Influencer Conference. So make sure you guys sign up. And I can't wait. Like, this fall is going to be great. We're doing great things. We're refinancing 84 units of our complex in Montgomery, Alabama right now, going through that process. So I'm gonna have a lot of content and a lot of stories on this journey over the last 2 years with building wealth. We just got our BPO back, and we've added $1.8 million in value in a little bit less than 2 years. And going through two different property management companies before we got with our right one, where we are right now. And it's been quite the journey. But that's what it's all about. We're building wealth and we're helping other people build wealth. And we would love to be able to have a conversation with you and see how we can add value to you and your family. Let's go and let's make some equity happen. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll drop a comment down below. If you're a veteran, if you used your VA loan and you have a great story, share down below in the comments and help motivate somebody else. And I will see you guys on the next video. Let's